I just love it when you get through recording a 15-minute segment and it turns out none of the audio made it. Good morning, guys. This is my second time recording this video, if you didn't realize or catch on there. Problems with OBS again, not wanting to record audio on me. So, hopefully it's working this time. I don't know if I can do all this again. Okay, guys, anyways. Some stuff to show off. I didn't release the nightly build last week as I was planning, because as I was building out some new macros, some triggers and commands and stuff like that, I found a little bit more functionality that was needed in order for them to be fully useful. But I built that out and I got a few more triggers and commands in there for macros, and they seem to be working good. So quick little demo, bit of a walkthrough. I'm going to show you guys some new stuff on the website, and then after that I'll probably go ahead and push this as a nightly build within the next hour or so. So probably by the time this video is uploaded, assuming the audio is recording right now. Alright, anyways. Alright. So I got a profile in here called Macro Test. One of the new triggers that I have, or not triggers, but actions that I have created is a block device output. And what this is it is especially useful for when you want to set your controller up to be able to do a lot of extra activities using macros. But you don't want all those button presses that you're doing in the macros to feed back into the game. So you want to also be able to block the output. So what I am doing here is I got my DualShock 4 and the trackpad. Since that's not natively supported in the game, this is my what people call a modifier button. So if I push that trackpad, that's what is going to turn all my face buttons and stuff into macro triggers and commands. So I have I got to keep dragging these windows open because they're popping up on another monitor. But I got the trigger here for the trackpad button. I also have another trigger which is optional, where it's the trackpad touch 1 equals 0. Meaning the button is pushed, but you're not actually on the trackpad portion. You're up here in this portion that doesn't have a trackpad. So if you push it there, that's what will trigger this macro. And as we said, this macro, the action is it's blocking device output. So if we go over here to our joy.cpl, we'll pull up the Xbox 360, which is our output device for this DualShock 4. And you'll see my X and Y axis there is translating from the left stick movement here. Now if I push this trackpad button down, you see that freezes. Nothing makes it into the 360 controller anymore, meaning nothing would make it into the game anymore. So while this is pushed, all these buttons are recognized by InputMapper and can do stuff in the program with macros and all that stuff, but the game won't pick it up, so you won't be doing extra, character launching fireballs or shooting people or anything like that. So I have a demo using that. You see over here I have a couple other macros part of this profile, lights on and lights off. And what I have is my smart lights in this room are connected to If This Then That, which is a cool website. If you go there, any kind of like smart home device or just all kinds of other stuff like weather, Gmail, all that stuff, they have like API hooks on their website where you can control it, kind of like how we do macros here, where there's a list of triggers and then a list of actions. And one of the actions they have is being able to connect to the smart lights I have in this room over the internet. So one of the triggers that we have in InputMapper is, one of the actions we have is a If This Then That webhook event. So we can actually send events from our macro output to if this and that's trigger input to actually to expand the capability by quite a bit. So you saw I hit the trackpad button and I hit cross, and that turned on my lights. I can also hit circle, and that'll turn off the lights. Remember, this goes over the internet, so there is a bit of a delay. Not bad though. You obviously won't be able to flash them on or off or do anything crazy real quick, but it is a nice convenience thing if you're sitting down to play games and all of a sudden you might need to turn on or off the lights, or who knows what you want to do. But it's just kind of a cool example of some of the stuff that InputMapper is going to be able to let you do, and the capability of this gets not only expanded by if this then that's own capability to what they can trigger on their website, but also that the macro, the commands and the triggers and all that stuff is expandable by plugin. And where that comes in is the next portion I want to talk about here. Our website is finally, after much longly needed wait, is finally getting some documentation. Not only am I putting some of the basic stuff like how to install it and set up a device, I'm also adding some development documentation, such as how to write triggers and commands. And each of these has code examples, stuff like that, as well as I'll have some stuff on GitHub and all that stuff of actual stuff that I've written so far if you want to see a little bit more in depth. These are just kind of skeletons where you fill in what you wanted to do on your own. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. As I finish stuff off, I'm going to be publishing it to here on the documentation for you guys to use. So keep an eye out for that, especially if you are into C# or you're wanting to fool around with some C#. This stuff would be pretty cool. I'm also going to do some videos and some more in-depth stuff to actually walk you through it start to finish. This is just more of like a reference if you need to go somewhere to actually quickly look something up or copy paste some code, something like that. So yeah, that's about it. Everything from the demo I just did looks pretty good on this build. There is one known issue that I haven't gotten to yet, where if you make some changes to the triggers or the commands of the macro, it appears that those won't actually take effect until you either disconnect and reconnect the device, or maybe you take the macro or you take the profile off and reassign it, or you just quit InputMapper and restart it again. There is an issue where the changes are not bubbling up and then bubbling back down to the actual controllers. So I have a couple ideas on how to fix that, so I'll get around to that this week. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for the continued support. Remember to keep using our website and forum and all that stuff. It helps us generate revenue just by you guys using it, as well as if you plan on doing any Amazon shopping, make use of the support InputMapper by shopping on Amazon link in InputMapper. Any shopping that you do doesn't cost you guys any more or change anything as far as what you do, but by using this link we generate affiliate revenue. So help us out by doing that. All right guys, that's about it. Have a good one.